Nigerians are intelligent people, and that is partly driven by competition. As you know, when you have to compete,
Welcome to the African Excellence Hub.
Have you noticed something? Almost every African podcast, content creator, commentator, or online discussion about Africa somehow ends up using Nigeria as a measuring tool. When they want to talk about music, they compare their country's music to Nigeria. When they talk about movies, they compare their film industry to Nigeria. When they talk about roads, infrastructure, entertainment, fashion, business, population, economy, or even cultural influence, somehow, Nigeria becomes the reference point.
I went to Nigeria. She actually did a video and said that Ghanaians have to sit up. We have to.
I remember. I do remember.
And she was literally, from every angle, she was blasted. As if she rather was turning against the Ghanaian movie industry. Do you share in the same sentiments with her?
Well, I don't know from which perspective she portrayed.
Nigeria economically is ahead, but it is underdeveloped sociologically.
Real thing, dog. Instagram, check. Instagram. Yeah. I'm able to see where you stay based on your pictures, like the backgrounds. If you're from Nigeria, I'm able to see from the backgrounds. Nigerians have beautiful houses, but the small details like gardening, it's always dusty.
Even the gardening.
And this is where I find the conversation interesting. Because on one hand, many people want to criticize Nigeria. But on the other hand, Nigeria is constantly being used as the standard against which other African countries measure themselves. So the question becomes, if Nigeria is really as irrelevant or as unsuccessful as some people make it sound, why is Nigeria constantly being used as the benchmark?
Hey, the enjoyment in Nigeria is not something. I'm telling you, they're throwing money in the club. It's not money.
Nigerians are not smart, even close to the Ghanaians. And now I want to break it down to you. Okay, here we speak the truth, and I'm going to give you a proof. You see, the Ghanaians,
the reason as to why these Nigerians made believing, it could be that they are seeing opportunities elsewhere. You know, back then, South Africa was like the big major super country like in Africa, whereby in case someone's looking at development, it would be South Africa. But nowadays, there are a lot of African countries that are coming up. Even Nigeria itself, you can see.
Let's be honest. Nigeria is not perfect. Nigeria has serious problems. Nigerians themselves criticize Nigeria every single day. Some of us Nigerians speak negatively about our own country. Some people outside Nigeria have concluded that Nigeria must therefore be a failed country. But criticizing your country does not mean your country has achieved nothing. Nigerians criticizing Nigeria does not mean Nigeria has no development. It does not mean Nigeria has no infrastructure. It does not mean Nigeria has no global influence. And it certainly does not mean Nigeria has not developed in its own African way, rather than simply following colonial structures and Western definitions of what development is supposed to look like. Nigeria has built its own systems, industries, entertainment culture, businesses, and creative economy around the realities of its enormous population and diverse society. Look at Nigerian music. Look at Nollywood. Look at Afrobeats. Look at Nigerian fashion. Look at Nigerian comedy. Look at the technology ecosystem. Look at Nigerian businesses expanding across Africa. Look at the Nigerian diaspora. Look at the influence Nigerian culture has had across the continent. You may dislike Nigeria. You may disagree with Nigerian politics. You may criticize Nigerian leadership. But it is becoming increasingly difficult to deny the cultural and economic weight Nigeria carries across Africa. And this is where the conversation about Nigeria becomes complicated. Because there seems to be a growing interest in finding the negative story about Nigeria. A Nigerian road is bad. That's the headline. A Nigerian celebrity has a problem. That's the story. Something goes wrong in Lagos. Everybody wants to talk about it. But when something works in Nigeria, when Nigerian businesses expand, when Nigerian music dominates, when Nigerian films reach global audiences, when Nigerian entrepreneurs build something successful, somehow, the story doesn't always receive the same accolades as Nigeria, but these same Africans reclaim it all to the whole continent.
Now, for those who don't know, yesterday, an African Afrobeat artist called Rema bought his first property in Dubai. Yes, that guy, you know, the artist who sang, "Baby, calm down, calm down." Yes, exactly. So he bought his first property in Dubai, and he bought the developer called Bingati, and the project is run by Bingati. Is in Business Bay. But the fact that I was very happy because the chief, the South Chief Bingati, Abdallah Bingati, was the person who was with him to record, like to sign the contract. And also the fact that they had to put up an event, like a grand event for him to sign his first property. I really felt very, very proud as an African.
Thank you for watching and kindly wait for the part 2.
Nigerian ladies, they're very hardworking.
Okay.
And they are decent.
Okay.
They know what they want.
Okay.
Same to Kenyan ladies. We are decent and we know what we want, but there is a slight difference that us Kenyan ladies...
They'll tell you they love you. 2 days. Then 2 days later, you find out that they are married and they'll say, put that one aside and focus on them.
I'm not talking about him.
I'm talking about us. So Ghanaian men, you have to be very cautious when they tell you that.
Hey, na Nigerian men there. Na Ghanaian men, Nigerian men. Hey!
Nigerian men. At least Nigerian men is not all.
Come with the Chanel.
They show working.
Hey,